the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Alt?
Here.
Mr. Beistel? Mr. Calero?
Here.
Mrs. Love?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Polakowski?
Here.
Mrs. Rhodes?
Here.
Mrs. Shipley?
Here.
Mr. Benz?
Here. That's 9 present. Citizens' comments?
We have no comment cards this morning, sir.
2014-15 final budget.
Just a word of clarification on how this motion is to work. The individual making the motion will either make a motion to adopt option A or option B. Option A is the budget that was presented by administration. Option B was the option that you asked to have on the agenda that was Mr. Calero's suggestion. So at this point in time, be it resolved that the motion that the Board of School Directors of the Southmoreland School District adopt the 2014-15 final budget, either option A or option B as noted below.
Need a motion?
I move we adopt option A.
Motion by Mr. Miller. Second? Second by Mrs. Rhodes. Questions or comments on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Alt?
No.
Mr. Beistel?
Yes.
Mr. Calero?
No.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Polakowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Rhodes?
Yes.
Mrs. Shipley?
Yes.
Mr. Benz?
No. Motion passes 6-3. On the back. Thank you. Continuing taxes for the 14-15 fiscal year.
It is recommended that the board approve the continuation of all taxes heretofore levied by the School District of Southmoreland in full force and effect, including those under Act 511, the Local Tax Enabling Act, 53 PS Statute 6901 et sec, earned income tax according to Act 511 at 1/2%, emergency and municipal services tax according to Act 511 at $5 per person, and real estate transfer tax according to Act 511 at 1/2%.
Motion? Motion by Mr. Polakowski, second. Second by Mr. Beistel. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Beistel?
Yes.
Mr. Calero?
Yes.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Polakowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Rhodes?
Yes.
Mrs. Shipley?
Yes.
Mr. Alt?
Yes.
Mr. Benz?
Yes, motion passes 9-0. Establishment of real estate taxation for the 14-15 fiscal year.
Again, a word about this particular motion and how it's set up on your agenda. Option A corresponds to the budget that you just voted to enact. Option B is the other option that Mr. Calero had suggested. So be it resolved that the board adopt the following real estate taxes as noted below in accordance with Section 627 of the School Code of 1949 as amended. A tax of 72.4094 mills upon all real estate subject to taxation within Westmoreland County and the Southmoreland School District. The rate of taxation in dollars and cents on each $100 of assessed valuation of taxable property is $7.24.09. A tax of 14.3876 mills upon all real estate subject to taxation within Fayette County and the Southmoreland School District. The rate of taxation in dollars and cents on each $100 of assessed valuation of taxable property is $1.43.08. The real estate taxes shall be due and payable as follows: 2% discount when paid from August 1 to September 30, 2014, face value when paid from October 1 to November 29, 2014, and 10% penalty when paid on December 1, 2014 and thereafter.
Need a motion?
Move we adopt option A.
Motion by Mr. Miller, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Rhodes. Questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Calero?
No.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Polakowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Rhodes?
Yes.
Mrs. Shipley?
Yes.
Mr. Alt?
No.
Mr. Beistel?
Yes.
Mr. Benz?
Yes, motion passes 7-2. Homestead I'm sorry. Go ahead. Homestead, farmstead exclusion resolution.
You have two resolutions in your packet. The black resolution has the numbers that would correspond to the motions that you passed earlier, and the red resolution has the numbers that correspond to the other option that did not pass this morning. So you'll be voting on the 2014-15 homestead and farmstead exclusion as noted in your packet with black print. Be it resolved by the Southmoreland Board of Directors that the homestead and farmstead exclusion real estate tax assessment reductions are authorized for the school year beginning July 1, 2014, under the provisions of the Homestead Property Exclusion Act, part of Act 50 of 1998, and the Taxpayer Relief Act, Act 1 of 2006, pursuant to the resolution which is attached to the minutes. It is recommended that the board approve the amounts available for the approved homestead and approved farmstead real estate tax reduction for the school year beginning July 1, 2014.
Motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Love, second? Second by Mr. Beistel. Questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Love?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Polakowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Rhodes?
Yes.
Mrs. Shipley?
Yes.
Mr. Alt?
Yes.
Mr. Beistel? Mr. Calero?
Yes.
Mr. Benz?
Yes, motion passes 9-0. Citizens' comments? Anything from the board? Motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Beistel, second by Mrs. Rhodes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you. Have a nice day, everybody.